Hey, today's video is my favourites video and fails, but for the last 6 months because we are halfway through the year. I was going to do just a regular faves and fails until I literally realised that we're 6 months into the year and that it's about time to do like a refresh for halfway through the year. These are things that might end up being my end of the year, but obviously if I, for the next half year, find other things that I like more than these, then these just get the half year stamp of approval rather than the full year stamp of approval. These aren't all products that came out this year. I don't buy exclusively new stuff. I buy some old stuff as well. So these are things that you can think about buying if you didn't buy them before. I have more faves than fails, way more faves. Fails, I have literally like a handful of things, 4 to be exact. So yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so for half year, these are still some of my faves. The Colourpop Pretty Fresh Foundation. It's not limited edition. You can get this any time of the year. I think it looks good on dry skin, oily skin, all kinds of skins. They have a bunch of different shades. This is just one of my favorite foundations of all time and it's super affordable. And Colourpop's right now having a 30% off site-wide sale. I don't know how long that's gonna last and if it's still on today when I post this video, but yeah, if you ever wanted to pick these up, you can get them on 30% off. And Colourpop has sales all the time, so you can always get like 20 or 25% off. The new find for me is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I have it in shade 1 Neutral, and it's just the best foundation I've ever tried. So good. It covers, it's not matte, but it's also not shiny. It's just like that perfect in between. It like hides all your pores. You guys know how much I love this foundation. It's like literally one of my favorites. And yeah, I recommend this to anyone, any time of year, day, month. For those everyday days, I love the Milk Skin Tint. It has SPF 30. It's only 0.54 fluid ounces, so it's really expensive for how much you get. But you can now get refills. So you keep this like outer box, you twist out the inside cartridge and you put in a new one, which makes it more affordable and more eco-friendly. So I actually really like this. I like the coverage it has. I like the vibe on the skin. I like that it has an SPF. Of course, my glossy skin tint's like an all-time OG favorite, but I put that into my favorites video every single time. So I thought I'd switch up for you guys with the Milk Skin Tint because I've been using this one a lot this year and it's like a newer find for me. So, you know, for concealers, I still have the same 2 favorites and I don't think they're going to change anytime soon. Like, I don't know what a concealer would have to do to beat this. Like, yeah, I've tried some good concealers this year, but also like nothing like this. The Patmograph Labs Skin Fetish Concealer and the Glossy Stretch Concealer. Need I say more? More full coverage, kind of like a regular concealer finish, medium coverage-ish. This one is everyday, looks like skin. You can wear it with full face of makeup, without full face of makeup. I'm wearing it right now with a full coverage foundation. It just works both ways. Super versatile concealers. Now let's get into bronzer blush areas. For bronzers, I don't have much. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer Stick. I love this thing. It's honestly one of my favorite cream bronzers. It's just got like this really special formula where it is super emollient and it really blends out really easy. Like if you put it directly on the cheek, it's not going to move your foundation. It looks incredible, but then it dries down to almost a slightly powdery finish, which means it stays on for longer. It's just such a beautiful product, super stunning. And the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Tint. This is the mini travel size and it's in the shade Work. And it's just a beautiful pink, same formula, just really good. I love these two as like cream products that also work with a full face of makeup. Like, I feel like cream makeup has this tendency of being a very everyday natural and you can't really use it with a full coverage face. These work with a full coverage face as well. So slightly similar vibe, I guess, but rather than a stick cream, we have them in a liquid. These are the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wands. So we have the Contour Wand, which is in the shade Fair to Medium. I've used up quite a lot of these. I think these are stunning. They blend out super well. Really good like pigmentation, but not unworkable. Like it's a really good in between where it's not too pigmented, but also not pigmented enough. We also have the Beauty Light Wand High Blush in Pink Gasm, stunning. And then the Beauty Light Wand Easy Highlighter in Spotlight. These are so good if you like a full face of cream products. And I've just been loving them all year. They have been great all the time. I used them for like a few months straight and I just loved the way my makeup looked. But I like to switch things up. And then another set of bronzer blush highlights. I tend to really like buying sets from brands. Like I like having the same brand on my face with bronzer blush highlight. I just think that they blend a lot better. Nabla. It's a recent find, but I'm in love. So this is a skin bronzer. It's Sun-Kissed Effect Bronzing Powder in Amber. I love the tone. I love the way it blends. I like the way it builds. I like that it's not super pigmented right off the bat. Amazing like finish. I love the Nabla Skin Glazing blush. This is in the shade Independence, but I also have Lola. How stunning is this shade? The packaging, the embossing, it's all just incredible. But then the like showstopper of the whole thing is this Nabla Highlighter in Ozone. It's what I'm wearing today. It just never looks like powder, it looks like skin. I've already wiped off basically most of the writing. It's just the most perfect formula to make your skin look like you're not wearing powder on your face. So I love these. And then more kind of loose items. We have this Charlotte Tilbury palette that they came out with this year. It's from the Instant Look of Love in a palette collection. So I love this one because you get a bronzer, you get the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder, you get a blush, you get a highlight. This highlight looks like nothing special in the pan. I accidentally picked up the deeper one. Anyway, it's the same idea for the lighter one. You get one matte eyeshadow, you get one of like this super special formula with like suspended glitter in it almost, and then just one shimmery one. You get a blush, a highlight. These are basically a face in one palette. Like you can't really go wrong with these, and the formula is amazing because it is Charlotte Tilbury. The formula is always amazing, so I just think you can't really go wrong with this one. Then we have something that I'm just like obsessed with. Patmograph finally released blushes. I'm not obsessed with the packaging because you have to press down on this like button here. It's not magnetic, it's like the clasp thing, and with long nails you can't do it, so I always just struggle to open it. But this is in the shade Divine Rose. Pick any shade you like. I feel like Patmograph came out like the most stunning shades of highlights. They have mattes, they have more shimmery shades, and this one's Divine Rose, and it's the most perfect highlight ever. It's got like this amazing formula where it doesn't look like powder, it looks like skin, it looks shiny, but it doesn't look shimmery, and the shade on me is stunning, but also there's like a bunch of shades to pick from. I think this formula is amazing, and Pat really like, we waited for this blush and we finally got the blush, and it's amazing. We have the Becca Mineral blush in Flower Child that I tried when I did my full face of Becca, and I love it. This is in the shade, like I said, Flower Child, and it's like pink with gold specks going through it. And this is the look it gives your skin, where it's just luminous and stunning, and it looks like you're wearing highlight when you're not even wearing highlight yet. And I just love the way this blends. You really can't overdo it either, so it's just great. Natasha Denona, I Need a Nude Glow highlight. This is one of the first, no, the first Natasha Denona highlight that I've ever tried. I think it just looks amazing. It looks like skin. I don't know why I'm showing it as if that's the one I'm wearing, but like I think this is the perfect shade, perfect consistency, perfect finish. It feels kind of creamy when you touch it, and it just gives your skin like that shine without looking powdery. Just really good formula. And the last highlight, or face product in general, is the Space Age Prophecy Kaleidos like multi-chrome highlight. And I didn't think I'd put something like this into my favorites, because you kind of have to use this product, well, you have to use a product a lot to consider it a favorite, but I use this a lot. It's a multi-chrome, but it looks super natural on the face. Like it goes with every look because it is a multi-chrome, so whatever way it swings, that's really the makeup you can do around it. And it's got like this most beautiful finish where it's kind of glittery but not obnoxiously glittery. It's just stunning, and I think this goes with all skin tones because it's got like a translucent base to it. Even though it looks, almost dropped it, even though it looks white in the pan, it's actually got like a translucent base. So it's just the glitter that's like showing. And with the summertime now, I think that look is amazing in the sunlight, so this is the one that I love. Now let's get into eyes. Yes, okay, I don't have any favorite eyebrow products. I don't have any favorite mascaras. Like there are a lot that I like, but also my eyelashes are pretty long, so most mascaras look good in some capacity. Like some might be a little bit better, some might be a little bit worse. Some, you know, contenders are, I guess, like the Huda one. That's the only one I tried this year that's like outstanding, but it's also just, it works like most mascaras on me. Like this mascara looks nice, but would it look nice on maybe shorter lashes? I don't know. So I think it's just really difficult to judge. Eyebrow products, I think Charlotte Tilbury did some good brow products this year. Colourpop has good product, Elf, but also I think brow products are kind of irrelevant. Like spend £2 on an eyebrow pencil and it's gonna look just the same as a £20 brow pencil. Like I just think brows and mascara are the one thing where I'm just like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like my expectations are pretty low. So I'm just skipping over those for this 6-month update. Eyes. I have 2 Colourpop palettes that I think are outstanding. We have the Wild Child palette. I think if you want like a soft glam kind of a look, this is the palette. It doesn't look chalky. I feel like the mattes in here are really, really good. The shimmers are stunning. You have this like slight glitter in the middle if that bothers you. I just think this is a good cohesive palette. You can do an eyeliner, you can deepen up, you can do a transition. Like, I just think this is a good palette, and it was a really good quality palette as well. But I also thought, going along the same lines of like quality, the Wine and Only palette is this one. Worked so well. I think these tones are just really good. I feel like the background makes the palette look a little bit weird. So I didn't get it immediately when it came out, but then someone had recommended it on YouTube and I was like, oh, fair enough, like they look quite nice on the eyes. And it's just such a good palette. Like, the mattes are, well, you get these 3 mattes with this one sequin shade and this other, oh, that's a sequin shade as well, yeah. But then you just change it up with these shimmers and this one here, and it's a completely different look every single time. And I think the tones in here are just really nice. It's buildable, it's creamy, it's buttery, it's pigmented. I think it's a good palette. Oh, the packaging's like broken. Okay, that's really weird. What happened here? Look at that. It just doesn't close. Okay, well that's... I almost dropped it. Well, that's disappointing. I think it's because of this design here. Like, it's got this weird, like, almost wine spill design at the front. I asked you guys if it was, like, supposed to be like that or if it was an accident. And you guys said it's supposed to look like a wine spill. But I think because of that, it's now not closing properly. Okay, well, other than that, the palette is really nice. So those are the 2 affordable ones that I really enjoy. Then we have from Colourpop, the Animal Crossing Super Shock shadow. It's in Balloon Pop. I've already hit pan on it and I only had this for a few months. I just think it's like the most perfect everyday. Either use it with like an eyeshadow palette or just a bronzer, and it's such an easy one eyeshadow look and you're done. The Hollywood Flawless Eye Filters. This is Star Aura, but really all of them are great depending on like your skin tone. Just pick whichever one you like. This might look really boring, okay? And you're like, oh, this looks like it doesn't really have much pigment. You would be correct. It's like almost an everyday like one eyeshadow look, but these just give you such a strange look to the eyes. Like, look at these, they're just kind of like filtered. Yeah, it just looks like you're wearing like a filter on your eyes, where it just makes you look pretty and put together, but not like you're actually wearing eyeshadow, which is just like a strange look, if that makes sense. Like, you're barely wearing anything, but it just is such an easy eye look. I do it with like my fingers. You don't even need a brush for it, and it just looks good every single time. You get these in like a bunch of different shades as well. They have some deeper ones, some lighter ones. This is, I think, the lightest one they have. For every day, it's just amazing. Then something similar to the Wild Child palette, but just less affordable. The Natasha Nona Bronze palette. So good. So this is what it looks like. You get like a bunch of shimmers, you get a bunch of mattes, you get this black eyeshadow, which is almost like a cream to powder finish, so it doesn't fall out as much. You get a bunch of different tones of shimmers. I love this one down here. I love this one. But really, I think all Natasha Denona palettes I've tried so far are really good. I love the Metropolis. I like the Gold. I like the Glam. But this one is one that, like, if I had to pick one to keep, I'd probably keep this one. Which is why I put this one forward for my 6-month faves. But really, like, if you just maybe close my eyes and pick one of my Natasha Denona palettes, I would be happy. So, you know. And then I also think the minis, I tried them this year before I tried the big ones. And I think the minis are something that's like really fun to invest in, because they're £22 each, which is way more affordable than the full-size Natasha Denona palettes. And they're so good to travel with or just to use on an everyday basis. This is the lightest one, is the Mini Retro. I have the... Why do I keep on dropping stuff today? This is just embarrassing at this point. Mini Zendo, Mini Love, Mini Retro, Mini Gold. I'm missing one. Anyway, I have a few of these. I just think they're a really good way of trying Natasha Denona without actually having to commit to the full-size palettes. And the formula is just as good. It's the same formula. Super creamy and buttery. Mattes, really like shiny, blingy. Shimmers, I just think it's a good palette. Not this one specifically, like this one too, but like all of the small ones are really good. But I loved this pink one. It gave me like the soft, natural, you know, springtime look. It was just great. For another one, so I tried the Patmograph Labs Divine Rose Luxe Quad, and I think it's just really nice. Okay, you get these 2 mattes, super blendable, like they just blend like a dream. You get this inner corner brow bone highlight, and then you get this more blingy shimmer shade. I think for Patmograph, this is a cohesive look. You can do mattes, you can do shimmers. Like, it's not just shimmers or just mattes. It's like a good in-between, a mix, if you will. So you can try Patmograph without having to buy the big £120 ones. But if you want to try this special formula, this isn't quite it. You will have to buy either the Luxe quads that are just 4 shimmers or a big mothership palette. But if you just want to try the mattes and get like a feel for what Patmograph has to offer, then this Divine Rose quad is probably the best quad for a cohesive, easy look to do. The rest can be a little bit complicated to use on their own. You usually have to go with a different palette. This one is a look in one palette. And the last eyeshadow palette, yes, is the Pillow Talk, Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk palette. This finally came back in stock this year and I just grabbed it when it came back in stock. It's the original Pillow Talk collection. I have the quad as well, but I feel like this is so much more superior than the quad. The quality on the big palettes versus the small Charlotte Tilbury quads is night and day. Like, these are incredible. I'm saying, like, the quads are nice as well, but if you want quality, this is quality. The mattes are buttery, the shimmers are foiled. You get 4 different looks. You get like pinky, more brownie, more fuchsia. I just think it's a great palette, great quality. I think this is the best one from like the big Charlotte Tilbury ones that I tried, and this is the one I use most often from all of them. And then for lips, we have the Barbie and Colourpop lip liner in the shade Golden Beach. I think this looks like my lips but better, and it just gives a great outline for me without being too deep, so I can use that as just like a way to shape my lips without adding much color to them. But if I want a little bit of a tint, some color to my lips, then Minuteman from Colourpop is the most perfect pink for me. It's just one of these shades. I think these are just great. Oh, let me just swatch the other one for you just so you know what I'm talking about. It's like, this one's more warm toned, this one's more cool toned, but they're very similar in that sense, but just this one's much deeper on the lips. For lipsticks, I love Charlotte Tilbury Very Victoria. I finished one of these, but in the mini travel size, so I bought myself a full size. It's just the most perfect nudie pink. It's so good on the lips. It looks satiny, it looks natural, it doesn't, you know, move too much. It's just a great, comfortable lipstick. Just in general, the Matte Revolution formula is one of my favorite formulas of lipsticks just in general. And then I have the mini, so I used up one of these in Very Victoria, so I bought the full size, and this is Pillow Talk, which is another one of my favorites, and I love having it in a mini size. It's definitely more pink than Very Victoria, as you can see, more pink. This one's a little more nude, just depends what you want. This is like my everyday vibe. I also love, and this is a favorite that's moved on from 2020 into 2021, it's the Just a Tint from Colourpop in Give Me S'more. I'm almost finished with it, and every time I apply it, I'm like, why did I stop using it? It's just such a perfect shade. It looks like you've applied lipstick with gloss on top, but just one layer, if that makes sense. Sometimes if you put lipstick and a lip gloss on top, it can feel a bit thick. This, you get the look of lipstick and lip gloss with just one layer. This is it. Isn't this just stunning? So good. And then I couldn't find my actual So Juicy lip gloss, but I also had So Juicy from the Lizzie McGuire collection. I don't particularly like these very much because they have like these chunks of glitter in it. I don't know if you can see, but if you just get the regular So Juicy lip glosses in this tube, they don't have glitter in them. They have like slight shimmer. They're plumping, they look glossy, they're affordable, it'll last you ages. I just think this is a far superior formula for Colourpop. I like it more than the Luxe glosses or the lip oils. I just think the So Juicy is underrated and really, 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 really good. And very nostalgic as well with the packaging. Then we have some fails. I don't have a lot of these because I don't keep fails around. I just think it's kind of pointless. The Too Faced Pretty Rich palette. One of the worst formulas I've ever tried. The glitters don't show up. The shimmers don't show up. The mattes are okay, but there are only about 4 mattes in the whole palette. Awful palette, awful. I have nothing good to say about it. Then we have this one that I've actually kept because it was really expensive. I got a discount on it, but the original retail price is expensive, so I'm keeping it. The Melt Mary Jane palette. What a disappointment this was. Like, it's already flaking, as you can see. Like, this shade here flakes all the time. So from these, the mattes are incredible, but look how much this one falls out. Oh, the mattes are incredible. The formula is buttery and soft and smooth, and it just blends like a dream. Then we get this shade here is awful, and it's already got hard pan, as you can see right here. Yep, doesn't work. This one flakes like nothing in this world. Like, it's already got like a hole in here, and it just looks dry and crusty, and it just doesn't work. This one also flakes not as much as this one, but kind of like this one. It doesn't look good. This one here, and this one here, incredible formula. Smooth, foiled, sticks down to the skin. The rest, disgusting. So I just, it's too expensive to have that many duds, if I'm being honest, right? Like, too expensive of a palette. So I kind of recommend it because if it's more than one dud shade, you shouldn't be paying this much for it. I think it's like £49 originally. Not worth the price tag. Will I use it? Debatable. I haven't used it since I tried it in that video. I haven't picked it up. I have the Natasha Nona Glam palette, which is cool toned. I have Colourpop, that's taupe. Love that one. This one is problematic and I just haven't picked it up since. I might try and give it another go, but it's just so problematic to work with. Like, these two I just will never use because they're awful. So, you know, disappointing, to say the least. The Milani Plump Gloss. I tried one of these and it was the most milky, streaky, uneven application of lip gloss that I've had in a while. I gave it away. I don't have it anymore, but yeah, hated it. And the ABH Dewy Spray. I used to love it. It used to be my favorite spray. And then recently I tried it and it just spat at me. It doesn't have that same like mistiness anymore. I don't know what happened to it. It just doesn't apply well. So I had to give it away as well because it's just not a good spray. So that's my faves and fails for 2021. First 6 months, and then I'll have my full cohesive one at the end of the year as well. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, anything you want to comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time I think of something to do. So hit that bell, be notified when that's happening. Social media links and the links in the description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.